What's happening, folks? Welcome back, if you've been here before, to the I Paint Creatures YouTube channel. If you're new here, grab what I call a creature cushion and start chillaxing in a major way with us, and come on the journey of my artistic career and my adventures in exploring art and creativity and plugging it back into your own self-development and how you grow, mentally, emotionally, physically, and of course, spiritually, and find your center of, how you can incorporate the arts into your life and bring more meaning and reflection and get back into the mystery which we're all here to enjoy and go on an adventure. And part of that is, showing full gratitude for if you're new here or if you have come back to take the journey with I Paint Creatures as I show you my paintings and drawing from my imagination. And today I'm showing you the Creaturepedia, and I'll put a link up there to a video I made if you're like, what is the Creaturepedia? And Creaturepedia just gives me an opportunity to use art socially and connect with people. I do it on my stream, twitch.tv, I Paint Creatures. And today I'm showing you a little musical Rasta creature that I did for a user. Usually what you do is you come in and I ask you a few mythological questions and I connect to you by basically making you your own Pokemon, but it's not a pocket monster, it's actually an I Paint Creatures IPC creation. And I'm showing you right here my book of symphony. I'm glad to announce that I'm down to probably under 100 of these books, and I had 500 of them made. I crowdsourced it, and they're all over the world, from Greece to the UK to Hawaii to all the way to the eastern border, Canada, Australia. They're all over the planet, and I'm so excited and so inspired to keep moving forward. And the next venture is, I made an announcement last week. A lot of you came in and watched it. It's all about the funky eye puppets. And it's my lifelong vision of really filling the shoes of the incredible Jim Henson. And so I'd like to talk about a quote today that is by a gentleman, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'll give a shot. It's Guy de Maupassant. And that's just the way I'm going to do it. But Guy said, the most poetic and precise of all the arts, vague as a dream and precise as algebra, is music. And music has been a big part of my life. Just a little bit of history around music in my life. That was the first art that I picked up at 5 years old. I guess the story is I went to my parents and said, I'm ready to play the violin. So they got me a violin, enrolled me in some lessons and stuff, and soonly discovered I was quote-unquote a protege. I picked the violin up real quick at 5 years old and basically became a concerto violinist and did concerts and all kinds of stuff. I don't even remember it that well, but my mom was like me in the sense that she archived and recorded things, so I have some recordings of myself at 6 years old playing full concerto as I was playing Bach and Beethoven and all the classics. I think a little bit of Vivaldi and I probably would have kept on that path, but then those of you who know me, I had a threat after my father passed a year later where they found a big tumor on my arm. And it's just kind of ironic that was the arm that held the violin, and I gave up the violin and I started writing and drawing more, and they became more my central. And that's where a lot of these imaginative creatures came from, and drawing and painting and telling stories from my imagination. And so it really plugs into how this music is the most poetic and precise of all the arts, because my latest project with the funky eye puppets, which I announced on a video last week, and go watch that if you're wondering what the funky eye puppets is. Basically this quote really plugs into that, because in my symphony book that you just saw, I basically came up with this whole kind of motif. It's a hook in a lot of my poems where I say, it's a painted poetic symphony. And I chose the metaphor of symphony because it includes all of us and all of our uniqueness. And to make music on a big band level like that, you got to have everything from the oboe to the percussion to the timpanis to the strings to the horns to the guitars and just every instrument possible, you know, and it all harmonizes together. And then there's a composer. And when I say painted poetic symphony, it really taps into what Guy is saying in this quote. You know, music has, you know, poetry in it, but it's precise, you know, and it can vague as a dream because it can open all your emotions up, but it could be as precise as algebra, right? And have a formula behind it in the cadence, the rhythm, the bars, you know, there's a lot of science to it. And I believe a lot of arts are that way because I'm an art educator, so I apply it in that sense that, you know, even in color theory, there's math and algebra. But music is definitely that universal language that I think kind of talks to us before we came into the form we are. So go out and just, you know, really appreciate the music in your life and see that it has all the components to being super logical, but also very fantastical into the sublime, vague as a dream, and precise as algebra. Thank you for watching the video today. I'll see you folks real soon.